So guys, first of all, whatever we have remaining, right, whatever remaining related to the customer authentication module, that what we will discuss in today's session, mostly that are address related functionalities. Next, what we are going to discuss, we'll start our restaurant owner panel. So basically, we'll design this page, right? Here you can see we have both the sign in registered, or you can also click on this get started and sign in button. So once you click or once you registered, right, then this is going to be the login page. And once you log in, we need to design the application similar to this one. So this is going to be the restaurant owner admin panel. So this page currently, whatever I'm showing, this is how we are going to design. So how many number of orders today, right? Today total number of orders. What is the revenue? How many customers have purchased? What is the average rating? Those informations we need to provide in the dashboard. Here you can also see view orders, manage the menu items. You can see the sales report and you can also manage that offer related functionality. So these are the different menus, right? What you can see in the left hand side. We'll design all this completely. Here also you can see the details of your account, whatever the basic information, address information, business details, whatever you entered. If you want, you can also change the password. Some change password screen will come. If you want to manage the address, you can see this manage address option. Here you can edit the address details. This page is it will come. You can also manage your bank details, right? Whatever bank information you have provided, those informations will be visible. Here, if you want, you can update the bank details, edit, and click on this update button. Then we are also going to discuss how to handle the address information. So this is manage address. And here we are not going to allow the admin to enter multiple addresses. So basically one restaurant owner means he should have one address. So this is business details and not the address. So this is the address page, right? And this is going to the business details. So whatever business information he provided, that information we are going to show here. Again, we can right. We are going to provide option to update the details. So this is what we are going to develop related to our restaurant admin panel. Here you can see whatever the login email ID and that logout button. So once you click on this button, it will redirect. Now, if you want to create a new account, this page will come up. So this is what we are going to discuss once the customer model is completed. So now let us proceed and implement whatever remaining in our customer module. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
So now, if you look at our applications currently, we have created, I hope we have created one user. And guys, tomorrow I'm going to share this updated document. So I have not shared the document because some changes, some modification are happening module by module. Once the module is completed, then I will provide you the updated documents. So now if you look at this one, so this is going to my panel. So here you can register. We have already created one user. So let me register using that user. Let me log in. So once this is done, here you can see my account page is there. So change password we have already implemented. Edit information we have already implemented. So this address functionality we have not provided. Then next one is you can see this manage address. So this page is not working. Change password and all these things are working. Now what we need to do is, so whenever I'm going to provide the address, right? So basically whenever the user going to enter the address. That address we are going to represent using Google Map. So basically, we need to include Google Map into our application. So for that purpose, what you need first of all, you need this API key. Guys, this don't use this API key. What I am showing here, this is only for my use, right? Because for using this one, if you are using right for the what I can say commercial purpose, you need to buy the license. So that is going to be you have to pay some amount. So don't use this one. This is only for my personal use. So okay. So now what we need to do, we need to start implementing our address model. So basically, if you look at this, right, if you look at this controller, so we have created few method. One is address method is there. which is going to create a new address. So basically, this is going to represent the view, and when the view is right, so basically it is going to render the address view where the customer needs to add a new address. So this is going to be managed address. So whatever addresses are provided by the customer, all those address list we need to display. This is going to be my edit address page. So here, any existing address, if you want to edit, that what you can edit. This is going to be my edit post action method, which is going to make the changes permanent to the database. This is going to be my delete method, which is going to render the address, and then it is going to read when you click on the delete button, this action method is going to execute. So now let us understand all these action methods and their corresponding views and how it is going to be work. So first of all, this is my address. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to create this view, add address view. So right click on this view button, create a new view. So provide the view name as add address. So once you created the view, let me copy the HTML. So in this view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to integrate Google Map. So please try to observe because the same Google Map I'm going to also use in the edit view, but I'm not going to explain what is read in the edit view. I mean the same Google Map functionality. It is going to be used in two different pages. One in the edit page and another one is the what I can say update page. So let me first show you this thing. So first of all, what I have done, I retried my Google Maps API key. Without using this key, I cannot integrate Google Map into my application. So first of all, I have defined this Google Map API key settings in my app settings.json file. So this is my Google Maps section and this is the key. So that value I have read from the configuration. And to read the configuration value, so what I have injected first of all, I have injected my iConfiguration services. So the right, if you know in controller, right, in controller you can inject services like this. So you just need to create a variable, initialize that variable, and the framework will take the responsibility to create the instance and inject the instance. But within a view, how you can inject? So we have to use at the rate inject directive, and whichever service you want to inject, that service fully qualified class name you need to provide, and it is going to be variable. So this variable, right, it's similar to this one. For example, here I'm using iLogger service. So this logger service, whatever I have provided, going to automatically hold the right iLogger instance, and this is right injected through the constructor. But now in this case, what I need to do, I need to use add the rate inject, because here we do not have that constructor. So it's a view. So as it's a view, inside a view, if you want to inject any service, whether it is a custom service, which is custom service in the sense the service, not custom service, rather than the service which is managed by framework, with the service which you registered into the dependency injection container, whether manually, explicitly, or whether it is a built-in service, doesn't matter. So if you want to use such service within a view, first of all, you need to inject that service. And how you can inject that service? By using @inject directive. So this @inject directive will inject this iConfiguration service. And once the service is injected, you can access the data from the configuration file. At this key, we need to use to integrate Google Map within our application. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So then what I have provided here, I have provided some information, add a new address, drag the marker on the map to select your precise location, whatever I mean, whatever the information you want to provide. Here, what I'm doing, guys, remember this div what I have created here with the ID map. So this is the place where we need to inject. This is the place where we need to inject our Google Map. So basically, you can see we are having this button, use my current location. So above this button, what I need to do, I need to inject the div. That div equals to whatever, right, height equals to 350 pixel, and width equals to going to, it will take completely, right, whatever space available. So that is going to be the completely white. So ID is important, and here this button ID is important. So basically, using this ID, we are going to inject the Google Map within this div, and using this button, whenever the user click on this button, whatever the user current location based on the latitude and longitude, so that value we need to take, and we need to, what I can say, populate the respective text boxes which are available. So what are the text boxes and whatever the data we are going to take, let us first understand. So this section is going to be visible whenever we submit the data to the server. And on the server side, if some issue occurred, then what we need to do, we need to set those error messages within this viewback.error message property. And when we re-render the view, if any error message is available, that error message is going to be displayed. And again, this error message is going to be red close when you click on this close symbol. So now, what are the information we are going to take? So this label means what type of, what I can say, what type of address is this? Whether it is a home address, whether it is a, what I can say, office address, some temporary address, whatever your address type, that's what you need to specify. And this is going to be optional. So as it is optional, what I can do is I can remove this validation for. So this is not mandatory. So this is an optional address. So address line 1, address line 2. Guys, remember this address line 1, we need to automatically populate. So this address line 1, we need to automatically populate if the user click on this use my current location button. If he doesn't use that button, then we do not need to automatically populate. Then in that case, user needs to enter this address line 1. So again, here I'm providing the placeholder. Placeholder means which is going to be by default shown in the text box. So this is going to be address line 2. So this address line 2 is going to be optional. So optional means we should not use this validation for attribute. So city, state, and zip code. So these are my required address information. So basically, whatever the city, state, and the zip code, you can enter if you want to enter it manually. If you don't want to enter it manually, rather than based on the current location, if you want to populate this thing, that functionality we have already provided, use my current location button. Then what we need to do, we need to take the landmark. Again, guys, remember this landmark is optional. So we can remove this attribute. So under two more fields I have provided, they are going to be hidden field. Hidden field means, see, we cannot provide a text boxes to the user to take the latitude and the longitude. Why? Because as a user, I don't know what is my latitude and the longitude, and this doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to provide a text boxes for taking the value for the latitude and longitude. And it will come into the picture when the user used a Google Map. So based on the selected location, automatically we need to fill this latitude and longitude hidden field values. And when the user click on this save address button, it will submit the data, whether the data you entered, whether this field are populated automatically when you click on this BTN current location, the data will be submitted to the server. And on the server side, it is going to validate the data, whether all the data, whatever the user provided, is valid as per the business requirement or not. If it is valid, then it will proceed, it will create a new address and it will redirect it to the manager address view. In the manage address view, we are going to display all the addresses a particular customer has. Clear? Till
Yes.
now clear? Okay. Now, to enable that validation both the client side and the server side, so we are calling this validate script partial. So this will load the required, what I can say, JavaScript files, which are required for client side validation. Guys, remember, so whenever you are going to implement Google Map, please use this asynchronous programming. So async differ means it is going to load the Google Map asynchronous. So your thread is not going to be blocked. So what is the URL I have provided? The same URL you need to provide Google Maps.com API.js. So this is nothing but your key. So I have provided at the rate Google Maps API key. So this at the rate Google Map API key is nothing but this one. So this value we have already read from our configuration file. So if you want, you can hard code this value. So hard code this value in the sense whatever value you stored in the right app settings.json file, directly you can copy this value and you can pass this value. But ideally, you should not hard code anything, right? Any value you should not hard code in your application. So in this case, I'm getting this value from the upsetting star JSON file. So this callback init map method. So this callback init map method means what? It means this is going to be the callback function. Libraries equals to places. Even I don't know what is the use of this library equals to places placeholder. I'm not sure, but this is the syntax they have provided. This is the API you can consider. They have provided that what you need to use. So because this value, even I don't know what is the meaning of this last parameter. But this parameter, so as you know, this is going to be the key. And this callback method means one method we need to provide. So this is nothing but one JavaScript function. That JavaScript function is going to be called, right, as it is a callback function, the API going to call this method. So this is going to be my method, and this method is going to be invoked by the Google Map API. And I'm not sure what is the right use of this fifth, I mean the last parameter. If you guys know, that is fine. If you don't know, that is also fine. Just ignore it. But this is the API signature. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay, now, so
Yes.
basically, whenever this you invoke this one, right? When it is going to be invoked, when your page is going to be loaded, because you have not written this statement within any, right? You have not written this statement without any within any function. You have written at the right, what I can say, global level. So when your page is going to be loaded, this statement will execute. This statement will execute means it is going to invoke the Google APIs, and from the Google API, they will validate, right, whether this API key is valid or not, and whatever the services, right, you have enabled for this key, accordingly they are going to provide the services. And how they are going to provide the services? By calling this initmap method. And this initmap method is nothing but one JavaScript function that should and must be defined within this application. So let us see. So you can see this is my initmap method, which is going to be invoked by Google Map API. Clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Clear or right
Yes, sir.
now? So before proceeding further, first of all, we need to understand these four variables. So here you can see at the global level, I have created four variables. One is map, another one is marker, another one is geocoder, and this is going to be my info window. So what are the use of this? See, this is map means the Google Map instance. You can consider this Google Map instance related to our .NET instance. For example, if you are having one service, and inside that service, if you are having some properties, some method, and if you want to consume those services, what you need to do first? First of all, you need to create an instance of that service. Without creating instance, can I consume the services? No, not possible. If it is a static, that is a different story altogether. If it is a non-static, means you have to create an instance. Similarly, if I want to represent the Google Map on my website, then first of all, what I need to do, I need to create an instance of this map or Google Map. So this map is nothing but it is going to hold the Google Map. Then what is this marker? The marker is nothing but it is the position, right, which is going to be a draggable. So in the Google Map, one red color symbol, some kind of a icon will be visible, which you can drag from one place to another place, right? For that purpose, what we need to do, we need to create one marker. So this marker is going to be draggable. Draggable means what? You can move this from one location to another location. Clear?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
clear.
Right? Then this is going to be geocoder. So basically, right, what exactly we need to do? So Google Map is going to work based on the latitude and the longitude. So based on the current latitude and longitude, what we need? We need the corresponding address information. We need the corresponding human readable address. What is the address line? What is the state, country, zip? So those information we need. And for getting those information based on the current latitude and longitude, we need this geocoder instance. Clear? These three things is clear till now? Clear or not? How to use, I will show you for later.
Yes,
First
sir.
of all, we need to create an instance. This is going to be your draggable marker. This is going to be your geocoder. And this info window means that you can see whenever you are opening the Google Map, it is showing some information about the current location. This is the place name, this is road name. So those information, whatever visible, right, on the Google Map. So that what we can achieve using this info window. So basically, it is going to display additional information on the map related to the location. So whatever the location, right, you can say this is the street, this is the street, this is the address, right? Those information, whatever visible on the Google Map, only because of this info window. So map means this is the Google Map instance. Marker means that icon which is going to be draggable, which you can move from one location to another location based on the current location. So this will convert that latitude and longitude into human readable address. And this info window is going to display some additional information on the map. Basically, the textual information about the location. Clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Clear?
sir.
Okay. So now what I have done, I have created an instance of a geocoder. So this is the syntax that what you need to provide. This syntax I have also got from the documentation which is provided by Google Maps. So google.maps.geocoder, you will get the geocoder instance. Similarly, you will get the info window instance, google.map.info window. Basically, what my requirement, so my requirement, whenever the map is going to be displayed, I want to show a default location. So for that purpose, I'm setting this latitude and the longitude. So this is going to show a default location. So whenever the what I can say map is load, then you can use that current location and all these things, right? So basically, I have provided some constant for the default location. And then what I'm using, by using this default location, I'm creating my Google Map. So basically, this Google Map is going to be created, and this Google Map is going to be created on which element? The element which is mapped by the ID map. So now, if you look at this, so this Google Map is going to be created inside this div, which ID is map. So inside that div, that Google Map is going to be created. Uh, that zoom functionality is also provided so that you can zoom, right, zoom in, zoom out that Google Map, and the center is going to be default location. Whatever the default location we have provided, that is going to be the center. So basically, based on this default location, we have created the Google Map, and the Google Map is going to be created on the div element whose ID is map. Clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Right. So once this is done, then the marker will come into the picture. So you can see the marker means we need to create an instance of a Google marker. So we have created the geocoder info window map. Now marker. Marker means it is the draggable, which you can drag from one location to another location. So first of all, what is the default location that is going to be displayed? And whatever the map we created that is going to be displayed. Draggable true means you can allow the marker to move from one location to another. Any right optional textual information if you want to display, that what you need to set using this title attribute. So basically, this will create the Google Map, and on the Google Map, on particular on this Google Map, it is going to create a draggable marker. So once we have done this, then on this marker, what we are doing here, we are going to add one event, or you can say a function. So what exactly this function is going to do? So whenever you move the right marker, whenever you move the marker from one location to another location. So basically, whenever you move the marker from one location to another location, then this function is going to be invoked. So once this function is invoked, then what exactly it is going to do? It is going to get the position. So get the current location, I mean current latitude and longitude after the what I can say. Uh, I mean once you drag from or once you move the marker from one location to another location. So what is the current location? That what it is going to get by calling this get position method. Then what exactly it is going to do? Once it got the current position, then it is going to use the update position and the reverse geocode method. So what is this get position? Basically, it is going to give me the latitude and the longitude. So, and once I got the current latitude and longitude, so I need to call this method. So this method, exactly what exactly it is going to do? Internally, whatever the right in this case, whatever the hidden input element we have created for the latitude and longitude, that value it is going to set. And when we call this reverse geocode method, so based on the latitude and the longitude, it will fetch the textual information or the human readable information, and it is going to fill this text field. So basically, two method. One method is going to set the latitude and longitude in the hidden field. Another method is basically based on the latitude and longitude, it will retrieve the human readable address and fill the text boxes, whatever available within the application. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Right. Now what we need to do, we need to understand these two methods. One is update position, another one is reverse position. So update position basically, first of all, it will retrieve what is the latitude, it will retrieve what is the longitude. So once we retrieve the latitude and longitude, we have created two elements. What is the ID? The ID is going to be latitude and ID is going to be longitude. So in the hidden field, right, in the hidden latitude and longitude field, we need to set this value. So here, that what I am doing. Clear?
Yes.
Right. Then the next method is reverse geocode. Right. So basically, what I'm doing here. So based on the location, right, I'm getting the status, right? So basically, proceed only if the request was successful and at least one result was returned. So basically, so this location position. So basically, whatever the position, uh, we are using this geocoder. So what we have discussed from the beginning. So this geocoder is basically going to convert that latitude and longitude to a human readable address. And this position is nothing but your current position, and that current position I'm passing here, and I'm calling this geocode method by passing this current position, or you can say current location. And if at least, so once this method is called, so based on this current position, or you can say current location, if at least one result was found, so basically, if at least one result was found from the Google map, then we will proceed and then we'll extract the component. So component in this case is nothing but your address component. So basically, so whatever the location 0 dot address components, so this components is going to return me the street number, the route, the city, state, right, zip code, all these things it is going to return. So basically what I'm doing here, I'm creating few variable. One is street number, route, city, state, and postal code. So this field I need, and I need to populate the text field. So first of all, what I'm doing here, whatever the components I fetched. So this is nothing but it is a collection of what I can say. This address component means some individual collection of individual component. So what I need to do, so I need to look through all the independent or individual components, and I need to check whether that individual component is street number. If yes, it is street number, then please fetch that value, and that value please store here. If this independent component is route, please fetch that value. See, guys, remember here you have two things. One is long name, another one is short name. So if you want to, for example, in the case of a state, for example, if it is state Odisha, then the long name is going to give you Odisha, the short name is going to give the OT. So whatever information, for example, country, India, it is going to return me. So for example, if you want to, right, store what I can say, something else, right? But I mean, you can decide whether you need to store the long name or short name. So basically, I'm looping through each component, individual component, and based on the individual component type, I'm fetching the value and storing inside this variable. So once I have the values, right, then what I need to do, I need to construct the address line one. So in the address line one, what I'm going to store, city, right, street number, and the route parameter. So if these two are fine, so that value I'm going to store here. Otherwise, whatever the formatted address, that what it is going to store. So once I write formatted the address line one, then in the address line one text box, I am storing this value. Similarly, in the city state box, and zip code state box, state box, I'm storing the appropriate value. So we have already created this city, state, and postal code. So we are checking if any element with the name city is available, then I'm storing this value within that text box. If this is, if at least one information is not found based on the current location, if no address is found, we are going to display this error message. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once I have added the comments line, so once I share the document, if you visit the page and if you visit, or you can say if you read this document, then it is going to be work now. And that is fine. But at the same time, we have also provided one button. So PTN current location. So when this one will come into the picture. So when will one come into the picture means whenever we move the marker from one location to another location, and when we call this BTN right get current location, so whatever functionality we have defined, so this is what it is going to execute. So let me show you. So to this BTN get current location, I'm adding the click event. So when the user click on that, so what I'm doing here, first of all, we are checking whether the browser supports the geolocation API or not. If it is supports the geolocation API, then first of all, I'm getting the current position from the Google Map, and I'm constructing one what I can say uh, a position object based on the current latitude and longitude. And this position object, right, what I'm doing here, I'm calling to this set center method. So basically recenter the map to the user's current location. So whatever the current location, that what we reset. We right, again, we are setting the position, updating the position and reverse mapping. So this right set position means whatever the marker is there, that is going to be reset. And again, we need to call these two method. Whatever the method we have discussed here, these two methods we need to call. So basically, whenever the user, right, whenever the page load for the first time, so this is going to be execute. And again, the same things we need to do again whenever the user update the location. For example, one time we set some XYZ location. Later we rename, right, move that marker to some YZ location. So when we move from one location to another location, and once you call that uh, get current location button, so this functionality is going to be executed again. So this is my address module. I mean, this is the page which is going to add a new address. So next, what I need to do, manage address. So basically, so this manage address is basically going to manage the overall address. So how many addresses you have, all these addresses are going to be managed by this manage address functionality. So basically, let me go ahead. So not this edit address. So this is going to be my manage address page. So here, what I need to do, you can see the data is going to be collection of a user address. So basically, so okay, let me go to this model. So this manage address. So basically, you can see there is a method called get addresses. So based on the current, what I can say, based on the user ID, it is going to retrieve all the associated addresses. So user address has no tracking. Why I'm using no tracking? Because it is a read-only object. So based on the current user ID, how many addresses are there in the database, all those list I am retrieving here, right? So once I retrieve the addresses, then I'm passing these addresses to my view. So the model for this is a list of a user address. So now if you go to the view, so you can see I'm providing this external information, review your update. Any success message, this part, this section is going to be executed. Any error message, this section is going to be executed. Then we are checking if at least one address is not available. Here we are saying you have not you have not added any address yet. If addresses are available, then right, what I need to do, I'm showing this address type, address, city, state, country, zip code, and I'm looping through all the addresses, that address label, which is nothing but your address type, address line one, plus if address line two is available, that what also we are storing. City, state, zip code is going to be displayed, and here edit address and delete address button is going to be visible. So basically, uh, any address, if you want to update, this edit address button is there. If you want to delete, this delete address button is going to be there. And finally, at the bottom of the page, we have also provided one, right, what I can say, button to add a new address. So basically, in this page, whatever all addresses are there, at least we will see for each address we are providing two action buttons. One to update that particular address, one to delete that particular address, and one button to add a new address at the bottom of the page. If no address has been provided, then this message is going to be visible. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So once this is done, next what I need to do, I need to click on, I need to create this edit address. So go ahead and create a new view. So give this name as edit address. So now in this page, automatically whatever address is provided that needs to be filled. And then the same functionality what we provided in our, so not this one, this is going to my edit address page. So whatever functionality we provided in create address, the same functionality we will provide here. But in this case, whatever the user address ID, that what we need to store in the hidden field. So here you can see the hidden field user address ID is there, and this latitude and the longitude value is also going to be there. So rest of the things they are going to be same. So here you can see my map is there where the, what I can say, the Google map is going to be created, and the rest of the things are going to be same as my previous add address. So only difference is that we have added this additional hidden field, that is user address ID, which based on this user address, whichever address you want to update, so that particular address ID we are storing in the hidden field. So the rest of the things they are going to be same. So next what I need to do, I need to provide this delete address functionality. So you can say the logic is going to be same. First of all, we are validating the model, then we are checking whether the user ID is exist or not. If user ID is exist, then we are calling this method to update the address. Here, first of all, we are checking whether this for this particular ID. So whatever user ID is provided, is that available or not? If it is available, that's fine. If not available, we need to log this error message and return this message. Then update existing addresses, whatever the existing addresses, that what we need to update. And finally, we need to call the save changes method, which is going to make these changes permanently into the database. So next, what I need to do, I need to use this delete address. Okay, so I am using, see here what I'm doing, please observe. So for this one, right, we should simplify these things. We should not make the views complicated. So first of all, we need to check user ID is exist. If user ID is exist, then we need to fetch the data. Okay. So we have created this method. So this is not the good approach, right? So basically, uh, we are retrieving all addresses. So if I want to update a particular address, or if I want to delete a particular address, why should I retrieve all the address? Is this a good programming? So in this case, if you look at this edit functionality, and if you look at this delete functionality, so what they are doing, they are fetching all the addresses, then they are fetching, right, filtering the address by ID. Is this a good approach, or is there any performance improvement?
No.
Is there any performance improvement? Can we improve the performance by doing something else? Yes. So basically, what we need to do, So in this case, right, so whatever method we are currently using, it is taking the user ID for fetching the data. So instead of doing or instead of fetching this information, so what I need to do, I need to fetch the information based on the, not only the user ID, but also it is going to take, right, the user address ID. So based on these two things, we need to fetch the data. So user ID, integer user address ID. Guys, tell me what is the syntax I need to write? User ID and guys, tell me a dot
A dot
user address
user
ID
address ID.
equals to this user address ID. So that's what we need to fetch. And in this case, this is going to be faster default as. So we should not return multiple. And here we are sure it is going to return a single address. Single address means the return type is going to be only address, task of a user address, not list of this one. So finally, so don't give this name as addresses, keep this name as address. And if there is no address available, return here right now. Clear? So again, if you are returning a null, then you have to mark this question mark here. So retrieve addresses. Okay. Give a meaningful message. Address not found or user ID, whatever. Sorry, address is not found for user ID. So okay, let me use string interpolation. So whatever the user ID and the corresponding user address ID. So that will also I need to log here. And this things we can happily remove. So address not found. Clear, guys? Error retrieving addresses for user ID and address ID. Clear?
Yes.
Yes or no? Any question related to this method?
Yes, sir, I have a question. If
Sorry.
address found, then also it's save the same logger, na?
Sorry.
If the address is found, then also
No,
save the same logger.
no, no. So this logging message, what we have written here, it is not correct. Retrieve and here we need to write this one. Address found for user ID and this one. Clear? Clear. If
Yes,
address
sir.
not found, it is going to be handled by someone else. I mean, those who call this method, he will take the responsibility. Now, next, what I need to do, I need to add this in my customer service method. So go to the definition and wherever you manage the address, get address. So here I need to use this one. Get addresses as not this one. Get address. Let me give this get addresses. Get address by ID. So this name what we provided, that name we need to give here. Clear? And next what I need to do, I need to call this method. So from where I need to call this method? From my method. So here, await user ID, and this is going to be my address ID. So that method I need to pass. So now here you need to write, suppose this address is not found. Here you can write that logger statement. Logger that information, log information. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes.
Right? Then
Yeah,
this
yeah.
statement, what I need to do, I need to again use in the delete case, right? So in this case also, I need to use the same statement. If this statement, again, here we need to write the same log statement. If the information is not available, so if the log information is not available, we also need to write the same statement. So in this case, address not found for deletion. Clear? Yes or no? Anyone having any question? What changes we have done?
Clear, sir.
Guys, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now go
Clear.
to the view. So now go to the view. We have created the view or not? No. So next what we need to do, we need to create this delete address view. So add view, erasure view. So this is going to my delete address page. So this is my confirm address deletion, whatever message you want to display that message. And here you can see we are having one form. Inside this form, I'm storing that user address ID, whichever address the user wants to delete. Two button, you can see no cancel and a yes delete. So if you click on the no cancel, it will redirect to you to the manage address page. If you click on this yes delete, then it will submit the data. The delete address post action method. So next what we need to do, this is my delete post action method. So whatever the address ID we are taking, that what we are passing to this method. And for safer side, what we need to do, we also need to pass the user ID, because right, you should not, it should not be like that. Some was right X user going to delete the Y ID. If you pass this value, right, of in the UI, then that particular address is going to be deleted. So what we need to make sure, we need to ensure, so for whatever the current logged in user ID, he should only delete this information. I mean, this particular address ID, what the user is provided, that should and must belongs to this particular user. So that what we need to do. So let me go to the implementation part. So this is address ID. So integer user ID we also need to take. So then what I need to do, we need to write the conditional statement here also. Another thing we need to include, what is that thing? Guys, tell me. A dot user ID equals to whatever user ID we got in the input. So that what we need to include. Clear? And here what we are doing. So once we paste the address, if this address not exist, we need to return this message. No address found with the ID this and whatever the user ID. So that what we also need to write here. So whatever the user ID. So then what I need to do, I need to put a dollar symbol here and I need to remove this one here. And whatever the address ID, this is going to be my address ID. Clear? And finally, we need to remove the address, save the changes, and this message is going to be logged and it is going to return to our pouch. Anyone having any question till now?
No, sir.
Clear or
Clear.
clear? So I
Clear.
think we have
Clear.
completed now. So why we are getting this error? If everything is clear, so you just tell me why I'm getting this error. Did we
We
change
use
any
two
method
parameters.
implement?
We changed the
Yes. So
function
basically,
definition.
the delete functionality, what we
Parameters.
did. So here now we are introducing this user ID. So what we need to do, this user ID should and must be present right in the method signature. So wherever we define this delete functionality. So this is the method. So here we need to add this one. Clear? So with these changes, your right controller should have right. The service should not have any issues. See, now it is working fine. So now with these changes, you can see this method is also working fine. So once this deleted, whatever the success message you want to store, if any error, whatever the error message you want to store. So this edit account, my account, all these things we have already discussed. So now let us run this application and test this functionality one by one. So currently, so one user is having with us. So let me go ahead and first of all do the operation with that existing user, and then I will show you the complete flow by creating a new user from the beginning. So this is my customer panel. Automatically it is going to be logged in because it is going to keep the user logged in for the 60 minutes. So now, if you look at this manage address, so currently do we have any addresses? We do not have any addresses. That is the reason why it is showing you have not added any addresses yet. Now you have two options. So you can click on this add address from the menu, or you can click on this add new address here. So if you click here or if you click here, it will redirect us to the add new address page. So this is going to be my add new address page. So in this case, this is going to be my marker. So you can see this marker. Sorry, this is going to be map. So within this map, this red symbol, what you can see here, this is going to be my what I can say marker. So this is map, this is a draggable marker. And whatever information you are showing, right, you can see here. So this is one location, this is another location, this is another location, this is another location. This is nothing but your info window. So this is going to give information about the location within the marker. Now, whatever your current location, this is my current location. Now, what I want to use here, I have two options. Either I can move the marker from one location to another location. When I move the marker from one location to another location, you can see automatically the data is filled. So whichever based on the current location. So once I move this marker from one location to another location, it is automatically setting the values. Otherwise, what I can do is in real time, so you have to use my current location. So once you click on this use my current location, it will set the current location. It will move this marker to the current location, and it is going to update this location value. So now see, so allow while visiting. Okay, allow. See, automatically it is moving that marker to the current location, and he is also setting these values automatically. Now, if you want to give some additional information, you can provide here, right? And then click on this save button. So once you click on this save button, you can see that address is added. Now, again, if you want, you can update this value. This time it is automatically or pre-populated. You can move this to some different location, and you can save changes, and you can see the data is going to be updated automatically. You want to add another address? Okay. So current location I'm taking, and I just click on this. See that new address is also added. So there are two addresses I have added now. You can click on this manage address. This page will come. If you want to click on this add address, this page is coming. So now from the manage address, if you want to edit, you can come to this page. And once the data is edited, you can see that message is coming, your address details successfully updated. You can close this one. Now, if you click on this delete button, this page will come. So here it is asking, are you sure you want to delete? No, I don't want to delete. No, cancel. It will redirect to this manage page. If you click yes delete, then it is going to delete that address, and that information will not be visible here. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write, I want to use someone else's email ID. Can anyone ping me their email ID so that, right, we'll see, right, whether the functionality is working as expected or not. Anyone here who can help me? Can anyone ping? Anyone here? Okay, Ankit. Okay, so no, this two is fine. So this two is fine. So Ankit, I'm going to use. So don't send. Just to stop it, man. So already 5-7. So I'm not going to create so much account. So what I'm doing here, I'm giving some information. So next you write why I'm saying because we need to do some operation going further. So now, so login means this email ID is not available. So it is saying invalid email and password. So in this case, what we need to do, I need to register. So whatever the name you want to give, four, five, six, four. Okay. So now we have provided some information. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm checking whether the validation is working. So password is required. Strong password is required. Fine. Now I'm removing something here. See, password do not match. Password match. So here what I'm doing, I'm removing this part. So please enter a valid email ID. So this is also working. So now click on this register button. Could you please check, Ankit, whether you got any email or not related to your registration? Ankit,
Yes, sir,
did
I
you
got
got
it.
it? So now what I need to do is, right, it will not work, right? But what I'm trying to make you understand is forget password. To make sure, right, you are getting a password recently. If you click on that link, it will not work. Why? Because that application port number, whatever, right, currently it is running on my machine. You cannot right, use that link. But just ensure you got one email with the password reset link on it.
Yes, sir, I got it. Password discipline.
Okay, fine. So if you click, it will not work. Why it will not work? Because we are provided that local host URL, which is not going to be work. But in real time, whenever we are going to provide the actual URL, it will work. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in. So, okay. So now in this case, see what I'm doing, providing this value. See, it is showing password must be this one. Okay, fine. Test. Now you can see, I click on this. So logged in is successful. Now, if you open this my account, so you can see whatever your first name, last name you provided. You want to update your information. Okay, instead of this one, what I'm going to do is it currently go to the database, giving the same value. And why I'm giving this value? Because I want to ensure you should not accept these values. Am I getting any message? Am I getting any message or not? No. So why?
No.
Let us try to observe. So how we can overcome this issue? Because see, guys, remember we are developing, right? I'm also developing in front of you, so I'm not right. We'll face this kind of small issues. But what is important, we need to figure out the issue, why it is not working, and how we can make sure it is going to be work. So in this case, this is going to be my update account details method. From the URL, you can see it is the edit account action method of our customer account controller. So now, if you look at this, so this is going to my edit account. So in this case, it is storing the error message inside this view bag. Update failed. Please try again later. So whatever, and then it is redirecting to the view. In the view, do you have any right view back that I mean whatever the error message, we are storing in this, right, what I can say, error message property. Do we have any red code we have written which is going to display the error message? No. So for that purpose, what I need to do, I need to modify this one. So what I'm going to do, please observe. So this message I'm going to put here within the. So this is the message what I'm going to put, which is going to display the error message now. Now, see here, right, if you want to retrieve the proper error message, then what you need to do? You need to do some changes. What changes you need to do? So go to the implementation. So here, for whatever reason it is not allowing, so that information we are storing here. But in this case, whenever we are going to do these changes, what we need to do, guys? What we need to do means, first of all, what we need to do, we need to validate the phone number. So how we can do this validation? Can anybody tell me how we can do this validation?
Check it is a uh, 10 number.
No. So that is not our issue. Issue is what? This email, phone number, whatever I have provided for this user ID 1, can I use the same phone number for this user?
No, sir.
No. So that validation I need to do here. How I can do this?
By using, we read the data from the database and we check that phone number exists in the database or not.
So basically what I need to do in the common service, we have created one function is email duplicate async, is phone number duplicate async, right? So similarly, what I want to do is, so instead of this, I'm going to create another method. Is phone number available? Is phone number available? Which is going to take two parameter, the phone number and the user ID. So why I'm taking the user ID, I'll show you in some time. So what exactly it is going to do is, so it is going to check right phone number and u dot user ID equals to user ID. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah, clear.
No. Why? Because we have to use not equals to. For example, whatever phone number I'm providing, I need to check this phone number is taken by someone else expected this user. Why I'm doing this thing? For example, so currently if I'm providing this value, again, for example, this is my mobile number and I'm going to update my mobile number. If I'm updating my mobile number, then at this point of time, I need to check whatever value I provided, that value I need to check with the other users, not within the rate myself. Myself, if available, that's fine. It is my mobile number, it is going to be updated. So in that case, suppose if I provided this value, so in this value, it is going to check, right, with all the customer except this one. So that's what I'm going to provide by using this not equals to user ID. So whatever user ID, please go ahead and check this phone number except this user ID. So that validation I need to do. Clear? So I will show you, right, how it is going to be used. That's what I'm going to show you. Next, what I need to do, I need to go to the common service and provide these things. Is phone number available? So then what I need to do in my controller, I need to call this method customer service dot is phone number available.
Common service.
Sorry.
Common service.
Yeah, I'm coming to this. So this method is going to take a two parameter. One is the first parameter is what?
Mobile
Phone
number.
number and user ID.
Phone number.
Second one is the user ID, right? So model dot phone number, and the second parameter is the user ID. Model dot user ID, right? So now, if valid, then we will proceed. If it not valid, then what we need to do? If it true, that's fine. If not true, then what we need to do? We need to set. I'm getting this error. Okay, so we have to use the await keyword here. It is a asynchronous call. Then what I need to do? I need to add the error message, right? How we can add the error message? So this validation, first of all, I need to check before checking this validation. So here, what I need to do? Model state. I tell me, not add model error. Tell me, guys, what is the property, on which property you want to display this error? The property is going to be phone number, and whatever error message you want to display, phone number is already in use. Phone number is already in. Clear or not?
Clear.
Yes.
So with these changes now, right? Why I'm saying, because right. So whenever you are developing any application, right, working is fine, but we should always handle the right. What I can say, invalid scenario. If there is some invalid data, whether my application handling this data as expected or not. Now, go to this customer panel. Go to this my account. This is
నేను అబ్బాయి పక్కన పక్కబట్టి బాబాయ్ పొద్దున్న ట్రైన్ స్పీచ్ లేవు అది అని చెప్పి తిన్నామని చెప్పి సాయంత్రం ఇంకా వాళ్ళు
who is there on mute and talking? Dinesh, are
Yeah,
you saying
sorry.
something?
Sorry. No, sorry. It's room disturbance. Sorry.
Okay, okay. Now what I'm doing here, please observe. I'm providing this phone number. I'm providing this phone number, and now I'm calling this save changes method. Update failed, please try again later. Why it is not working? Why we are not getting the appropriate error message? Please try to observe. So basically, we are coming to this place. Phone number is there. User ID is there. Phone number and a user ID. So this method is returning me true. True means so here it should be like this. So not true. So basically we have written the wrong condition. Now it should work. I'm providing this phone number, and this time I'm giving this information. See, phone number is already in use now. So if I'm providing this phone number, then it should work. Because this is his original phone number, and at this time it should not have an issue. See, your account information has been updated successfully. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Change password, you know how to do this. Let me show you this thing. Test @1234. New password test @1234. I look, let's keep it same, because who is going to remember so many passwords? See, password has been changed successfully. Further, you write login, you have to use the new password. Now, add address. So currently, I don't have any address. So I use my current location. So this is optional. If you provide, it is fine. If you don't provide, then also it is going to be fine. So save address. You can see that address functionality is also working. So I hope we have discussed all these things. Change password we have discussed. Manage address we have discussed. Here you can update, edit, for example. You want to move to a different location. So that's fine. So click on the save changes. It is going to be work. So my account section, manage address, edit information, change password. working address, all these things are working. Yeah. So log out, you can see this login functionality is working, forgot password is working, and this registered functionality is also working. So with this, our customer model authentication is completed. Next, what we are going to discuss, not today because it will not complete today. So first of all, whatever we have discussed, please do practices. I will share the document mostly by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, if possible, today evening, right after the session, I can also share. And please do practices. And next, what we are going to discuss our next model. Next model means our right restaurant owner panel model. Clear, guys? Anyone having any question, they can ask.
We can use SMS validation also, no, for phone number.
Sorry?
We can use SMS validation.
Yeah, not an issue. You can use. But for that purpose, right, you need to set up some account. Right? That tool account is free. Right, in your coming days, I will show you. Whenever I'm going to implement two-factor authentication, at that time I will show you how to integrate SMS. Tulo is there one account which is going to provide free services. Right. So next, what I'm going to discuss this owner panel.
Sir, are we implementing any memory cache in the existing code?
Yeah, memory cache we are using now. So whenever we are sending the right password reset link, that token is generated. That token we are storing in the memory cache for 15 minutes. If you look at this forget password method, so this is my forget password method. So here we are generating one token, and that token we are storing in the memory cache for the 15 minutes.
Got it. Thank you.
Anyone having any question? That's tomorrow,
Sir,
right? Yeah, please.
sir, that Google API you told that belongs to you. So can we get any other for temporary development purpose, testing purpose?
Why not you use your own? So I have already
Okay.
told you how
So
to
that
generate or get the Google Map API.
so that's free from you by Google.
Yeah, that is free for Google. That you
But
will get the credential for free. But what is you need to do is you need to provide one billing address for generating that billing information. You need to either share your credit card or your debit credit card or your API payment. That what you need to set. That amount to they will not charge. But if you use for the production use, then you need to pay. But for now,
okay, sir.
for that is completely free. And I have
Okay.
already told how to generate the same and what are the things you need to include and that what also we have already discussed from where you need to get all these things. So that's what we have already provided. You need to go to this application, log in with your Google account, create or select a
Okay.
project, enable billing address, and you need to enable few services. Maps enabled API, Maps JavaScript API, and the geocoding APIs. And then once you provided this thing, then you need to create one credential. And once you create the credential, you will get the API key. And this API key, that's what you need to use here.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Anyone having any other question, guys?
Yes, sir, I have a question.
Please.
Sir, if we manually add the address, then how will the hidden field will be populated? The longitude and latitude?
Yes. So if you look at the project, right, what I have mentioned, that the longitude and the latitude are optional fields. And
Okay.
longitude and latitude only going to be populated when you are selecting the address via Google Map. If you are manually entering the value without using Google Map, then these values are not going to be populated. Clear? In
Okay,
that
so it
case,
is optional.
it is optional. That's what we make this red field. If you look at the user addresses table, then you will see this field are going to be optional. Longitude and the altitude. Are they aligned null? Yes, it is null. Landmark null? Yes. But city, state, zip code, they are not null. Address line to null? Yes, null. So label null? Yes, null. Address line 1 null? No, it's not null. So these are the This is going to my primary key, this is going to my foreign key. So these are not mandatory field, only going to be populated when you populate the values, or you can say address using the Google Map. If you are providing these values manually, they are going to be null. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you.
And guys, tomorrow session is very, very important. And tomorrow we are going to discuss this restaurant owner panel. So I have already completed the authentication model. So this is my right. This is my dashboard. So it is going to show you total orders, total revenue, and how many customers have purchased. Right, 85 orders. Among these 85 customers, what is the total average rating? So this information, this is going to be your right my accounts page. I mean, whatever the information you provided, this is going to be your change password page. This is again, this is address page, but here we are not using Google Map. Not required, because Google Map is required for the customer, not for the owner. So this is going to my bank details. So this is going to my business details. So all these things are there. So once we complete this, right, first of all, we are targeting the authentication model. So once the authentication model is completed, then I will come to this part: how to manage orders, manage items, how you can verify the customer review, how you can generate some kind of a sales report, how you are getting the notifications, how you can manage the inventory. I mean, which product item is available, which item is not available. So that functionality, how you can manage and how you can implement that coupon code or promotion. So if you want to apply some kind of a discount, so that what how you can manage. So those functionality we are going to implement. Clear? Clear?
Yes.
But this
Yes,
we will discuss
yes,
once
clear.
the right, once the basic functionalities are completed, right? So customer we have completed, we'll complement this restaurant owner panel, then we'll complete that delivery partner, then we'll complete the admin. So once the admin panel is completed, we'll back to this restaurant owner. So in the restaurant owner, we'll see how we can manage the menus, how we can manage the cuisines, how we can manage the items, right? All these things we will discuss. Again, we'll come to the admin panel and see how admin is going to manage all these things. So once this is done, then we'll go back to our customer model and we'll implement that search functionality, manage place order, manage order, all these things. So one by one, right? It is not possible. It is not possible to implement one model at a time, because every model is interrelated with each other. So what is the best way to implement? That what I'm following. So that is the reason why part by part I'm going to implement, because right, see, in real time, different people are going to work on different model. For example, if you are working with this restaurant owner panel, someone is going to work with the customer model, someone is going to work with the admin model, someone else is going to work with the what I can say delivery panel, someone going to work with the user interface model. So someone, right, different model, different members are going to work. But here as an individual, we cannot implement one model completely. Why? Because the dependence is there. Without dependence in the sense, right? If you ask me, sir, why not we implement this manage items, orders, all this thing at a time? What is the meaning? If you, without placing any order, so how I can define this order model? From where I will get the data? If the customer is not purchase any order, until and unless customer is not providing any review, how I can define this review method? So without any order, what is the use of the sales report? So those things are interrelated with the other model. So one by one, each and every model we are going to implement. It is going to be taking some time, but yes, it is going to be completely real time. So, what I can say, right? This is going to completely a real-time scenario, or you can say, you can come, you can happily say, right? You can happily inform, right? Put this project on your resume that you are having the domain experience of right food delivery app. If you are applying some kind of application, that Blink, Zomato, right, Uber Eats, or you can say Swiggy, such companies, if you are applying. And if you are having this experience, then it is going to give you a better chance, right? Better chance of getting selected. And it is not related to those companies. Yes, this is, you can consider this is very common in all type of real-time e-commerce application. In this case, we are providing the service as a food. Some other cases, right? For example, if you are taking the e-commerce application, the service instead of food, they're providing something else. But overall, the idea is going to be same. So how it is going to work, that is important, right? Once you understand the project structure, once you understand the database structure, once you understand what is your requirement and what you need to implement, then implementing is not a big deal. Clear? Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, clear.
So please attend these sessions regularly because I want at least 100 members. But I can see currently only 33 members are attending. So if more number of people are not attending, then my interest is going to be down, and I will not continue this session because I'm having two more sessions are going on. Right, these are their paid session, one in the morning and one in the right evening. So I'm not taking those sessions and giving focus on this particular right real-time application development. And even people, if they are not attending this live session, then doesn't make any sense to continue this session. Be saying very frankly, because in my session, I want right more number of students to be available. If more number of students are not available, then my interest is going to be very low. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, and one more request. If any of your colleagues, any of your friends, right, if they want to, right, learn, right, or they want to understand how the food delivery application works in real time, you can also happily inform them and let them to join the session also. Anyone having any more question, guys?
Sir, sir, I have one question. Sir, for
Yes.
user purpose, we have added a condition that same user cannot change their own mobile number. But in my opinion,
No,
I
no, no,
think
no, no,
it's
no. What I'm saying, the same user cannot change his own mobile number means what? See, in this case, if this mobile number is already there, you can update this again. No issue. But if this mobile, whatever the updated mobile number, it should not be taken by someone else. That's what we are providing.
okay. Okay,
For,
yes, sir, got it, got it. Yeah, yeah,
for,
yeah,
ex-
got it.
for example, right, in this case, right, we have defined that a common method, right? So in this case, see, in this case, there are two scenarios. If I provide this mobile number or I provide this mobile number, these two mobile number are already exist in the database or not?
Yes, yes, got it, sir, got it.
Thank you.
Uh, so are we going to start morning session?
Morning session, right? I will start mostly right in 2 or 3 days. I will start because right morning session, right, only few things are remaining. Actually, why I'm not cutting the morning session at this point of time? Only right for MVC part, I think one session is remaining where I need to discuss right how to deploy the application right into IIS, how to integrate SSL. So these things are remaining. I think if I'm not wrong, from the morning session. And
Yes, yes.
from the right, and once that session is completed, I'm going to merge that morning session with the evening session. Merge in the sense I'm going to discuss ADO.NET with one real-time right hotel booking application. So for that purpose, right, I'm waiting, right, so that I can merge these two sessions and I can start ADO.NET. One session I will
Okay.
take in this weekend, and I will complete MVC part. And again, what I'm saying, so that MVC part, whatever is remaining, that what I'm going to cover in this, what I can say, in this real-time project. Because once this project is developed, I'm going to host this application. I'm going to integrate SSL certificate. All these things are going to be implemented.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Can you stop recording?
Sorry,
Can you stop recording?
which recording?
This session is it's in recording mode.
So the session is completed. Why you are asking the recording at this point of time? I have already recorded this session.
I'm telling you to stop. Can you stop it?
So you want to stop recording, right?